everyone.
Hello.
Well, Archie's deciding to have a scratch.
You having a scratch,
Archie,
my boy?
hope you're all okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing another questions and answers video.
We are.
And if you remember, a few months ago we did one, and we promised that we'd do part two, because we got that many questions. The video would have gone on,
Yes.
too long.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is part two. So our first question is, and I'm going to direct this at Tony to answer.
All right.
This is from Chris Bentley, and he has asked, fully serviced sites, this means fully serviced pictures. Does the loo hook up to the mains, or is it a self-contained unit and a Tony job when you get home?
Right.
So
well,
what would you say about that then, Tony?
it's definitely a blue job, as Julie puts it. So I empty the toilet cassette. So
It's a self-contained unit.
it's a self-contained unit which you have to remove from the van. It's got wheels and a handle, so it's easily transportable because it's quite heavy if it's full. And there is a chemical waste on all campsites where it gets emptied and cleaned out, and then it gets put back into the van itself.
Yeah, you generally do it while we're there, don't you? Depending
Yes.
on how long we're there,
Yeah.
we empty it, I don't know, 2 times, 3 times.
Yeah, if you're just going for a weekend, you may get away with just emptying it at the end of the weekend. And sometimes you may empty it more than once. But there is a little light that comes on the toilet when it is full.
Yeah.
So you do know when you'll have to empty it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is actually some, like Chris has said, does it hook up to the mains?
Yeah.
There are some pictures, and I think they are super pictures, where they do have this facility. And you can empty your toilet cassette on your pitch. We've not come across any campsite that's got that facility
No.
as yet anyway, but I have heard that there are some out there. So if anybody knows of anywhere, or they've ever been on a pitch where they've got their own loo waste facility,
Right.
drop it in the comments.
No, we've not come across that
No.
in the 3 years that we've been motorhome.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, number 2. How many...
Just gonna blow my nose. Sorry, folks. Right.
How many miles per gallon do you get from the motorhome?
Okay, it doesn't do too bad. It averages 35 miles to the gallon. Okay, and I know that because on every trip that we do, there's 2 trip settings, A and B. And from day one, I've left trip B, which is just measuring constant mileage alone. I always reset trip A for every journey. And I know the highest I've got is 42 miles to the gallon. And the average, we've done nearly 10,000 miles in the van, and it's averaging out, I haven't reset the trip on that one, and it's about 35.4 miles per gallon. So to me, it's not bad. I suppose the bigger the van and the heavier the van, the less miles per gallon you get. But it'd be interesting to find out from other motorhomers what they get.
Yeah, so if you'd like to drop that in the comments.
Yeah, whether ours is good or bad, we don't know. But round about 35 miles to the gallon. Yeah.
Okay. This question is from George Thompson.
Hi, George.
Having bought this beautiful motorhome, if you were to trade it in, would you increase in size? What do you think?
Well, I suppose there's pros and cons of having a small van compared to a bigger van, or vice versa. I like the fact that it's only 6 meters. It is really big enough for us, for 2 people and a dog. But the things that I miss are the storage areas. It'd be nice to have a locker that we could store things in.
A garage, you mean?
Yeah, a garage. So it would be nice to have a bigger van, maybe slightly bigger with lockers, but having a smaller van means you can manoeuvre it a lot easier. You can take it out and about and park it on streets and car parks. So that's the advantage of having a small van. But the disadvantage is the actual space in it to store things.
But we have got quite a lot of space for storage. We've got space under the bench seats.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of space under there that we get things in.
Yeah.
And that's where we put our chairs, isn't it? And things like that.
Yes.
The screen cover and those sort of things. And then tools and everything else.
Enough space for the awning. If we're going to take the awning, we have to stick it in the van. And also the
Fiamma waste.
Yeah.
But it's
the Wastemaster.
But it's only a tiny little Wastemaster. It's not a really long one.
Yeah.
So I mean, when we travel, and I'm sure there's lots of people have to take things in their vans if they've got camper vans. So that we just put it by the fridge, and there's a step up there, so it stops it rolling about. The awning, we basically put in the shower, don't we, when we travel? So to me, you know, it's not really a major problem. And we've got lots of cupboard space, so I'm quite happy with a 6-metre van.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a 6-metre van with a little garage. Yeah, that's the ideal.
But I can't see that that's going to happen.
No.
At any time soon.
No, but we have come across vans that are our size which incorporate garages. Like was it the Wigan, but they were astronomical prices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
anyway, moving on. Number 4. This is from Dave Shaw. Do you travel low on water and fill up on the campsite?
The answer to that is yes. We hardly put any water in. We have enough water just in case we stop and we need the loo.
Yes, and you can flush the loo.
So probably about 10 litres maximum.
Yeah.
Of course, water weighs a lot. So the less water you travel with, the better. And
because it'll consume your payload if it's full.
Yeah.
And it'll also cause your fuel, won't it?
Fuel consumption, yeah.
So
once we get on site, we either fill up, if it's not fully serviced, at the motorhome filling point, and we fill it right up to the top, which normally will last us the duration, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days.
And then the day that we leave, we empty it all again, don't we?
By the time we leave, there's probably not much in the freshwater tank. And of course, we empty the wastewater.
Moving on to another campsite, again, we just leave enough water in the tank to be able to flush the loo. We don't use the fresh water for drinking. We've got a container that we fill up with fresh water from the tap on the campsite.
We've always done that.
Yeah. And so if we were going to stop and have a cup of tea, we'd fill the kettle up from that. As I say, we never drink the water out of the van. I know some people do, but we've heard a lot of people don't. So we decided not to, because I think you can get bacteria. And even though we clean it out, we just don't fancy it, do we?
No, it's there for washing the dishes, having a shower.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to that one. Right, what is number...
Any more questions?
Yeah, number 5. Mark Meadows. Hello, Mark. Are we thinking of upgrading when our warranty runs out? Well, our warranty has just run out, hasn't it?
It has run out, yes. The van is 3 years old now, so we did have free warranty for the first couple of years. So this year, the van will need an MOT and habitation check.
Yeah, that's is it April or May?
Yes, in April, so that will be new to us.
Yeah.
it would be nice to upgrade it, but it's all down to money at the end of the day, is it not?
So at the moment, no. And we've not really, we've looked, haven't we? We've gone to back to Brownells and looked at other vans.
We do look round vans, I must admit, but we still like the van we've got. Yeah.
And because I think we got such a good deal with our van, you look at other vans and see how expensive they are, and they haven't really got an awful lot more than what we've got.
Yes.
And our van inside is very roomy, isn't it? You can't say it's small inside, can you? The only thing our van hasn't got is the fixed sleeping area where you've got single beds or a double bed. Because we have to make ours up. But the living area is the same as any big van, isn't it?
Yeah, it's big enough for us.
So, you know, we're still quite happy in our Elddis, aren't we, at the moment?
Yes.
So, no, we aren't upgrading, Mark, at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Let us know if you upgrade. Because I know you mentioned that.
Right, okay.
Number 6, from Petter James. Hi, Petter. When you first bought Dinky, because that's the name we gave the van, or I did, was Tony frightened of driving it?
Well, I suppose, not really frightened, but apprehensive. Don't forget, I have never driven a motorhome before, or a van of that size. But it's like everything else. With caution, if you buy a new car, you're a bit cautious, aren't you? Same with the van. But within, I don't know, a couple of trips, it's like second nature. So, yeah, it doesn't take long to get used to it. No.
Yeah, I think, you know, a few trips out and he was all right.
Yeah.
Just let Archie out because he's back and forth and back and forth. Bear with me 1 minute.
Either to join us.
Oh, right.
Do you want to read the questions out, Arch? Hey?
It's lipstick, Archie.
It's lipstick.
Number 7. And this is from Alan Metalman. And he has his own channel, a hiking channel. Would you consider travelling abroad with the motorhome for a holiday? Well, we have spoke about this, haven't we?
Which I'm sure we will do.
One day, yes.
One day, yeah.
But at the moment, we're really
still exploring.
Yeah, the UK, aren't we?
Yeah.
Or Britain, should we say?
Britain, yeah. Yeah, like Julie said, we're still new to this game.
Yeah.
Having not had a motorhome or a caravan of any description. So we're still exploring, the UK.
Yeah.
And there's a hell of a lot of campsites out there to explore.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would actually like to go to the Isle of Wight.
Is that abroad?
No, but you know, it's off the mainland, isn't it?
It's a little, yes.
It's somewhere I've actually never ever been before. You know, for a holiday in a car.
I've flown to the Isle of Wight.
You've flown and you've been around it, haven't you? In a boat once.
Oh yes, circumnavigated the Isle of Wight with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Who kept a little 16-foot sailing boat.
Yeah,
at
so
Cowes,
you've been round the island. And I'd also like to go over to the Isle of Man. And then again, there's Ireland to explore, isn't there?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going over there. Because we've got friends over there.
In Dublin, near Dublin. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful part where they live.
Yeah.
So that'd be nice to go over there in the van, wouldn't it?
So
and
there's lots
visit our friends.
Yeah, and of course, last year we did Scotland in the van.
And we need to go back up there again, don't we, really?
Well, yeah, we only explored a small part of Scotland. Yeah.
And we'd like to do some of the islands. I'd like to do Arran. And there's Mull, isn't there?
Yeah.
So there's so much that we haven't done yet.
There's so much to do and explore.
Yeah.
But yes, it would be nice to get onto the continent at some stage.
Yeah, and get a bit of warm weather, I suppose.
Yeah.
Question 8 is also Chris Bentley's. How would you get your van ready for the first trip of the season?
Right, okay. So at the minute the van is winterised, which means there's no water.
It's all been
in the
drained
system.
down.
Yes, it's been drained down to stop it from freezing, potentially. The pipes freeze.
And we did clean all the tanks out, didn't we?
Prior to it being winterized. So what we're going to do shortly is
unwinterize.
yes, put some water in it, purge all the pipes. We're going to sanitize the freshwater tank.
With PuraClean.
And then drain it into the waste
tank.
Yeah, the grey tank, which I suppose will sanitise that a bit.
Yeah. And then we empty it all out. Archie's off again.
And then ready for, put a small amount of water, 10 litres like we said before, and then away we go.
Yeah. We also check the gas, don't we? Make sure that's working all right. I mean, we did have a problem with the fridge, if you can remember, but that's all been sorted out now. But we would check before we go away to make sure the gas is coming through on the cooker.
Yeah, a little portable gas detector.
Yes.
So we can use that to check for leaks.
Yes.
Along the pipe work. So we'll do that before our first trip. Yeah.
And then you just check to make sure there's no mice or anything. I don't think there is here, because I mean I'm in and out of the van quite a lot of the time, because it's only on the drive. But we'll just check under the benches and things.
We'll stick the cat in it.
Yeah.
And see what
if it comes out with anything.
Yeah.
But so there's that, isn't there? What else? Let me see if I've made any. Oh yes. The cassette toilet would be lubricated, but we've already done that. We did that.
Rubbers,
we did that before Christmas.
With the silicone rubber.
We clean all the cassette out. You get a special cassette cleaner, and it freshens it all up, ready for your, the start of your new season. And there's a lubricating. What do you call it?
Yes, a silicone spray. Yeah. Where you lubricate all the plastics and rubbers. Yeah. And that just makes it supple.
Yeah. So, and we did all that on the windows as well, didn't we? All the rubbers around the windows and the doors. Yeah. So we've done all that.
So there's always bits of maintenance too.
So we'll be just checking that as well. And then it's a thorough clean, Tony, isn't it?
Wash and dry the van. Yeah. There's a lot of van surface area to clean. It's surprising in comparison to a car. Even though we've only got a small van, it's an all-day job. Yeah,
and while you're doing that, you do just check in to make sure we've got no damage anywhere, don't you? Make sure everything's all right and nothing's cracked or whatever.
Yeah, and the thing you can't clean a van with is a jet wash on.
No, I mean we've heard there are people out there that do use jet washers, but we just do not want to do that. We just use a hose pipe, don't we?
Yeah, just
and you've got a big
sprinkling.
Very soft brush, haven't you? That you use.
The hardest part of the van to clean is the roof, because it's a flat roof, a lot of area there, and it's quite hard to.
But there's lots of nooks and crannies, isn't there? Because you've got a solar panel on the top, and then you've got your television aerial that comes out. So there's lots of little areas that you have to get to.
Yeah, and of course, I'm very reluctant to stand on the roof.
No, we don't do that either.
No.
We don't want to damage it or go through it or crack anything.
So I just use a long brush.
Yes.
To try and clean it for me. Yeah.
So that's about everything, isn't it? To get ready for our first.
It is.
Trip away.
Have we finished with the questions?
I think that's about it. Let me just check. I don't want to miss anybody's question. No, I think we've done them all.
Right, okay.
Yeah. We hope you've enjoyed our part 2 of the questions and answers.
Thanks for sending the questions in the first place.
And I hope you found it informative.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in our next video.
We will.
So take care, everybody. See you again soon.
Bye for now.
Bye.